When I was younger, we used to do packing gel. As soon as they said ponytail
or eco gel,
the number changed. We used to do attachments.
Can I tell you my favorite one? Wait, we used to do pick and drop.
Thank you.
Once they turned it into boho
braids.
We're now seeing 200 pick and drop that we went, no, I'm sorry.
What's your problem?
Hello, boys and girls. What are you doing?
What's your problem?
Are you
I'm
doing?
admiring my nails.
Did you just do that?
The change in the light.
Yes, it's chrome.
Yeah. The change in the light.
It's
so
like
cool. I've never done it before.
Oh my God. Have you done that one the way they use the magnet to do like this?
No.
Oh, it's very crazy. I can't lie, it's so crazy.
I've never done it before.
It's so crazy.
My mom has been laughing at me because I've been talking with my hands a lot.
I'm into chrome.
Yeah, I think these ones are so cool.
They're very. I like this color.
Thank you.
This color
Thank
chrome
you.
combination.
Hello all.
Hi guys.
The bounce
How
is so
doing?
glad. Well, one of them finished NYSC, the other one did not.
Yeah, it's not actually, to be sincere, it's
What?
not that I didn't finish. It's that somebody said I should kneel down before I can collect my certificate. So I had to tell them to eat it.
Yeah.
The certificate is actually in the cupboard of the secretariat.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I can identify the cupboard they put it. I was there when they put it there. As I previously said in previous episodes, we must march to collect the certificates. Yes. Why will I kneel down?
No, before we get to NYSC, what did you do this weekend?
This weekend, I had a great and wholesome weekend of, this is the only way to do weekends in this economy, going to people's houses and lying down and eating food.
That's good.
Brilliant. Do you know what? One of my friends, by the time I got to her house, it was not up to like 30 minutes that she slept off. Me, I was watching TV. She woke up. She said, should we order? What do we not order? We ordered from like 4 places. It was really terrible. She ordered, right? So I should mention that because she was doing hosting, right? And I was obviously the guest. So what was my business with that? We ordered hands already. We ordered, do you know, I just said, see small things, ice cream of 1K. Everything was like 2 billion.
Yeah, thank you so much for bringing this up. I really appreciate it.
The whole order was like 2 billion naira.
Because on Sunday, I said I want pizza. Okay? And there's bread at home. There's stew. What's pizza but bread and stew?
I know Lagos now even has luxury pizza.
Instead of me to stay at home and eat my bread and stew, I said I want pizza. So we went to Dough. You guys, 1 pizza, 2 frozen. I counted it to 1 pizza, 2 frozen, and 1 other drink. 6,000 Nigerian naira. I said,
Sorry, meanwhile, another group of people that I want to target when I'm going to, Kayla posted about one agency, Lagos Protection or something for the customers. I have a list of like 30 businesses I'm taking there. Number 1, people selling coffee. It's like everyone is running so crazy and mad. You order ordinary caramel kinikon.
You're ordering caramel in Lagos.
Wait now, 15K.
Let me tell you.
I said, you and who now?
Let me tell you the truth, Fekemi. I think there's something, you guys bear with me. And this is my unsafe space of the week. My unsafe space is classism in Lagos. Because it is causing problems that we should not have.
Okay, how does that have to do with what I'm discussing?
I'm getting
right
that.
Now? Okay, thank you so much.
Let me give you an example. When I was younger, we used to do packing gel. As soon as they said ponytail
or eco gel,
the number changed. We used to do attachments.
Can I tell you my favorite one? Wait, we used to do pick and drop.
Thank you.
Once they turned it into
boho braids.
We're now seeing 200 pick and drop that we went, no, I'm sorry. I actually saw someone do a very nice pick and drop this year. They called it full length boho. I said,
we used to do Wivon. Once they said, I want to get a sew-in.
And then say what I love about it, traditional sew-in. Okay, what was the other one we were doing before? A modern. No, everyone is actually crazy.
So you see why classism is causing problems? Before, when my mom used to go to the salon, she said she wants to do hand and leg. She wants to paint her nails. She just said,
No, they were doing manicure and pedicure.
Now they do mani-pedi. Oh, where are we? Oh? You guys can see where we're going to.
And it's charged separate now for design.
Thank you.
Charged separate now for once they pick up one tiny brush like this, put one other thing, they've charged you.
So you guys can see where classism is leading us.
And can I tell you another one? We used to do Didi weaving, cornrows.
No, you guys can see where we're going to.
I said,
there was a time we used to do washing and setting. Okay? Washing and setting. Now they separated it. They'll say, do you want to deep condition? Do you want to hot oil?
No, let me tell you my favorite. Treatment. I said it's the same treatment that was sitting under this steamer for 10 minutes. This treatment.
You guys can see, before, when I was younger, my parents said, do you guys want to hang out? Now we're going for drinks. You can see that. Classism. Classism.
No, I can't lie. You're right. It's actually causing a huge.
I've told my mom, I'm going to start going to tailors and I'm going to start asking them, how much is it to do 6-piece skirt? Because since we started all this rubbish, different Ashwabi styles, they've lost their minds. When me and my mom used to do 6-piece skirts that will sweep the whole of Nigeria, me and my mom, they'll sew our clothes like 3 items, 30K.
No, you guys, everything is actually bad. Everything is actually bad. I actually agree because once you make anything, it is like before when you go to buy clothes, what pink shirt, pink now Jolly Blouse,
FK Scotch,
Debbie Scotch, 400K. And once you see that they've put
name, and some of them even have some name. Some of them will have French name in this Lagos.
Look, there's certain names that I see of clothes that I know that I can't even walk. Once the name is like a foreign.
Today, I saw my friend, she did a reel. She said, grocery runs. I said, so you're not going to the market? Grocery? Once people started writing grocery lists and put Garis, I said, oh. Market waka has turned to grocery runs. Oh,
see,
okay,
look,
okay.
Anyway, we're losing recipes as a nation. We are. First of all, we've lost the art of going to people's houses to sit down. Okay, Sunday rice is still we should bring it back.
Thank you.
Because now we've left Sunday rice, we're into brunch. And let me tell you, that brunch is even the brunch is even a crazy one because just imagine that before 1 p.m. you spend 80K. It doesn't make on the day of the Lord.
Let me not lie to you. You guys, dating in Lagos has taken a turn for the worse because it's not easy to spend 80K in one sitting and be joyful. It's very hard. Let me tell you guys.
Men cannot now say order whatever you like because they know that thieves are around the place.
And you know the kind of men I date? You get there, you say, oh, and I'm feeling peckish. You just say, let's know what we're doing here. Just say, Jola, let's know what we're doing here. How can we have a good evening? How can we have a good evening?
You know that a guy in all seriousness, like last month said to me, oh, he wants to take me to where they make the best drinks in Lagos. I said, oh, where's he a new bar? He said, no, he has a bar in his house. That he bought all these mixing. That even has martini glass.
He's not lying.
I should not worry.
He's not lying.
That anything mixology he has watching YouTube.
He's not
I said,
lying.
sorry, is everything. He said, I don't get that. As in, can I not see?
You guys,
he said, trust me, anything you
I
want.
paid 15K for Chapman.
No, that day.
Do you know how diabolical
do you know that? I can never forget that day that we went to this place. It was so hot. It was boiling hot outside. Yes. Do you know that we ordered that drink before that price came out? And I almost choked.
We told Fekemi to eat the strawberry. She must chew the ice. Everything they put
even
in that
the straw, I must take it home.
That she should carry the straw home. It was me and
you
Bolu.
Guys,
when Bolu saw that thing, he was so offended.
You know that I couldn't believe. I was just like, oh, it's really hot. I need a drink. I just quickly went inside. Oh, can I have Chapman?
No, that's not how you said it. You said, could I have a Chapman? And it's your fault. It's your fault.
Okay, because Shusha, if I said
Fekemi
Chapman.
was using her old tongue to talk to the poor boy. So I thought he was dealing with a wealthy person.
You guys, when the thing came out, I now said, sorry, okay, on top of 15K, you now put 100 ice.
Remove it.
I said, remove the ice. Poor Chapman. He was looking at me. I said, the thing about it is, look at people I'm around. We don't have shame, all of us here. Everyone I'm standing with is a shameless person. I said, you will remove this ice, you will pour this Chapman. Are you Look, so listen, there's so many things
Classism.
going on. Onto fresh apple juice, 13K.
Look at the unfresh.
Okay, do you have the one that is not fresh?
The unfresh
They said,
one.
oh, this is how it comes. We juice it. Do you have Chivita? Are you getting me? Do you have even Fruta? Yes. Because what is happening? Someone said they've mixed pineapple, don't mix anything.
Give me
one fruit.
Only one.
I only want to be drinking. No, because you see fresh orange, 6K. Or juice blend, 18K. Okay, remove all the other fruits. Only orange. Don't remove everything else. I don't want it.
This season of I Said What I Said is brought to you by Coins by
Bamboo. Our resident fame.
Yes, and Coins by Bamboo is a remittance app that allows Nigerians in Canada send money back home to Nigeria. So if you're paying bills, taking care of family, donating to a cause, Coins by Bamboo, they for you.
If you also want to send money to me, you are free. Please. Also, they have a double-sided referral program. Ask me, what does that mean?
What does that mean?
Okay, that means you, the referee, and you, the referrer.
Okay.
See what I did there? You will both get 10 Canadian dollars. If the person you refer does a transaction of up to 100 Canadian dollars within the first 30 days of them joining the app. So, you know,
nice.
Lovely times.
So you guys should use our referral code, ISWIS. We're going to put the link in all the bios to sign up. And make sure you share and actually send the money so that we can all make good money.
We can all make the referrals and we'll share it with you. They say, well, Jola will contact her.
All right, guys, enjoy the episode.
Bye. No, you guys, it's actually bad. Now, restaurants are no longer giving free bread baskets.
Bread? Yes,
I saw bread basket. We ordered bread basket.
For the bread basket.
I now asked, they say, yeah, it's not complimentary. So why do you put it on the table? Why would you put it on the table?
I went somewhere that before they used to give us, like, when I say bread, and it was bread in excess. Like when they first opened, you get like hot, because they make their own bread and the bread is actually mad. I can't lie, you get hot fresh bread. The last time I went there, they gave us an assortment of chin-chin and coolie.
You know what they call local delights?
The guy now said...
You see this iced coffee that I'm drinking? It's because Carousel is paying for it. At home, I don't drink this.
The guy said, I shit you not, fake me. The guy said, that if we want more, we should let him know. I said, more chin-chin. Do you know how hard it is to be romantic when both of you are doing crack with your mouth?
Please, sorry, pause.
Man.
This thing is boring.
What do you drink?
Where did you buy this beverage?
Can we get an I Said What I Said cup?
Where did you buy this beverage that their cup is not working?
No, let's roll.
Why did you buy a cup that is not working? The cup has such little to do as a cup.
No, just put it inside.
I think you have to just clean the top.
Just put it.
No, it's falling from the edges. That's the challenge.
Okay.
Anyway, let's carry on.
Wow.
So, do you know the thing? And that leads me to my unsafe space for the week. You guys, MTN must crumble. It is my passion in life now to expose
When did you pause?
Okay. So, last year, me and Leila Jane, and we want to enter the next year without potting. My dear, I'm about to go back.
To where?
I didn't have service.
No, to where do you want to go back?
Mobile, but I had money. I was not a victim of theft and fraud.
No, it's crazy.
Explain to me how I'm buying data every single fucking day. No, listen to me. MTN is using all of us to run their business.
I just saw 40 gigs.
I swear to God, now every time I see a new MTN advert, I say, look at it. It's because I bought 5K. Yes.
No, it's crazy.
No, I'm sorry. It doesn't, you guys, it doesn't make sense.
Our consumer protection is
there's literally no maths you can do that will explain to you how you are using 10 gigs in 2 days.
In 2 or 3 days. Yeah, it's crazy.
It doesn't make sense.
It is crazy. I'm sorry.
The internet in my house is how much it doesn't finish in the month. All of a sudden, I got to it. And do you know the thing? All of you are actually bloody liars, and I don't like that. All of you that said, I'll port to MTN, I'll port to MTN,
I was one of them.
Everywhere you go. Okay, everywhere I am now that they're collecting my money, what have I gained? Before, when nobody could contact me, it was better. It was better. At least I had funds every 2 minutes. Then can I tell you some crazy things they are doing? Never in my life have I heard so many times that I have 1 minute remaining in my life.
Sure.
I'm now feeling shy. Before you call somebody, they've told you extra value. I didn't buy extra value bundle. That's actually what's so crazy is when did I start buying extra value bundle?
It's crazy.
Number one. Number two, your data will finish. They will not tell you your unused data has expired. Are you mad? Are you crazy? That if I want to use the data I bought yesterday, I should roll over to another bundle again today.
Nah, it's insane.
I'm sorry. It's actually a huge scam and I'm not joking. If you want to join my class action suit, please contact me, okay? On the podcast.
Something that is really bothering me is, so this is, well, of course we started the podcast, but recently, plus America or plus Nigeria, this entire thing of corporations, oligarchs taking advantage of people, I think fundamentally people forget that the government's job is primarily like protection, like protecting people.
Yeah.
And one of those things is not just like, we are going to war. Wakini, you protect people from corporations because corporations, their major job
is to exploit you and make money
as much as possible. So one of the reasons why the government exists is to be like, our job is to make sure that people are okay. So for instance, that's why there's tons of lobbying in America. So in America, do you know that I read something about how pizza became a fruit or something so they could serve it in schools because of the amount of tomato and whatever that was used in it. And there were all these. So there's lobbying because this idea that the most minimalist government intervention works because everybody knows the right thing to do is fundamentally untrue.
It's wrong.
Because particularly when corporations are now also owned by other corporations. So once a private equity firm or a VC firm buys a company, they have one goal: to make as much money as possible.
They do not care about your protection or any of it.
So they will change legal terms. That's when you start hearing, what a legal minute is. That's 60 seconds that you're using. That's not what they're counting in head office. They'll say, no. This is how we calculate it. So if your phone call, they could potentially say, if a phone call is 1 minute, 15 seconds, well, you bought a bundle for 80 minutes.
Yeah.
So they counted that 15 seconds as a minute. It is crazy how much...
I'm not joking. This thing is actually one of the craziest things. I've been on MTN for like 2-3 months. It is the craziest thing I've ever seen. It doesn't make any sense. I'm constantly buying data and buying credits. And I'm just thinking, who the hell am I calling?
Yep. When I went to Cape Town in December, I can't remember how many gig. And then when I realized because I was there for about 2.5 weeks.
It's a joke.
And that's when I realized okay.
When we went to the live show, two of us in the airport, we loaded 30 pounds of data.
Oh, yes.
That thing did not finish.
Yep. What do you, 2 of us, 3 of us?
Yeah, that thing did not finish. It didn't finish the whole time we were there. And it was like 10 gigs. I've used 10 gigs in the last 2 hours now, according to MTN.
It is actually crazy. It is crazy.
No, I
mean... Then the alleged 5G. 5 Gorimapa.
Look,
5 Gorodom.
See, if you're listening to this and you're working in MTN, it is getting very close to the point where I come to you people's office, I start removing my clothes. Yeah, I'm very serious. I'm so serious.
It's
because
so unfair.
Nigerians only respond to mad people going naked in their office.
It's so unfair because this entire... Why are we arguing with you about what constitutes gigabytes? And then you're gaslighting us as well because it's just not true.
We know.
It's just not true.
Look,
and it's
you're
just
sitting
unfair.
next to an internet service provider where people are using, as in 90 gigs in the month, is not finishing. On my personal phone, when I'm not running a call center, I don't have, what do they call, internet cafe.
It's really unfair and it's really...
I'm sorry, it's
wrong.
insane.
Something is wrong.
It doesn't make sense. It's as if I'm mining Bitcoin. What is happening? So please, if you walk there, let's discuss. Like I said, anyway, if you want to join my class action, I'm ready. No, it's not funny. The other day I sat down and for the first time I said, let me do budgets. When I saw my data, I said,
It's crazy. We're talking about what was going on in the Senate, and Adeswa was breaking down the different committees. It's a committee. There's someone that's meant to... There are different committees. You know, the job of those committees is when it's juicy committees, juicy committee. There's someone that's meant to... There's oversight as well. And that's why corruption is so horrific. Because if the idea that you can just pay off these people, you can't talk when they're doing whatever it is they are doing.
No, you can't.
If your job is to oversee the oil and gas sector or telecoms or finance, like banking and stuff, if you are being paid off, you can't go back and tell them, what is the meaning of all these bank charges? Why aren't ATMs Why are people paying more money to get their own money from ATMs? Why aren't your ATMs accessible? Why do people have to use POSs even in areas that there are ATM machines?
It doesn't look. I'm sorry. All these things.
All those
it doesn't
things
add
is nonsense.
Up. It doesn't.
It is absolute nonsense. I can't understand how and why. So everybody talks about the private sector, but one of the things that is very, very painful about like a government's failure to protect or corruption is that it erodes their power.
Yeah.
If you've collected money from somebody, you can't talk. You can't. I'll use a very clear example.
They're effectively buying your silence.
Yes, that's what it is all the time. So fun fact, when some people come here and they say that they want to work with ISWIS and they're wondering why we're saying no. This is why we're saying we can't work with you.
This is why, because a lot of times the people come in, anytime I see that an organization is coming and at the back of the organization is something state government, something federal, I say, I'm so sorry. Because when your principal does something crazy.
Oh, my favorite one is when corporations will complain about it, now quickly send us
email. They will quickly say,
like, but you know what you're doing is rubbish.
And I'm like, I will not partner with you because, I'm sorry. Look,
you know
this
what
thing
you're doing
is crazy. It's everybody is doing crazy, crazy things. And I'm just, I don't know. Now, this brings me on to, so before, on the car on the way here, I was watching Ray's videos. I'm like, if you don't know, what's her handle? I am Ray. RAYE. I think so.
Yeah.
On Instagram.
Yeah, on Instagram.
So the girl, she puts up these videos just complaining and like passionately crying about the price of everything, how it has gone up.
And
as a corper, just very well noting that what is going on in this country is not okay. And there have been a lot of conversations about that since last week, where you're just looking at going to your parents is even too long. People that are 10 years older than you, what they were doing in their 20s, what they were able to do with a normal job, we cannot do it.
Mm-hmm.
People were like, look, you're using house down payments money for phone. It doesn't make sense what is going on. Forget that even just the price of basic thing, we're all talking about how much eggs are. How much is chicken? It doesn't make sense how much turkey is.
How much is Gary?
Like it's not adding up. Anyway, so she was ranting about this quite passionately. And a lot of people were agreeing with her because this is what is going on.
Mm-hmm.
And to my not shock or not surprise, NYSC officials took it upon themselves to try and, hustle her, telling her, is it your mate you're talking to and all these crazy things. And, it just made me think a little bit more about the whole concept of NYSC just as a program. Because the thing is, I've always thought NYSC officials are less busy. That they're one of the key people in life where the small power they've given them, it has turned all their heads upside down. Let me tell you somebody who is power drunk, somebody who works in NYSC.
Bro.
Check any LCD. Whoever is in charge, that person is completely drunk.
Gosh.
They're like bouncers. They don't have any sense again. Small power that they've given them, they want to use it on top of your head because you are doing a government-enforced program.
Job.
And the question I have is
in charge of young people, to be specific.
NYSC, in and of itself, let us be frank. Maybe there was a time that it was a useful endeavor. In its current form, it's actually a program that only serves people that want to do tourism and you want to see another state and mingle with people. Once you finish doing that, the NYSC doesn't serve any purpose.
Yeah, can I say two things? Yeah. So my major gripe with NYSC is that in its current form, it's useless to everybody but state governments that refuse to invest in their states. There are public schools and local governments that if you take out
the
NYSC staff, they don't have teachers in public schools. They don't have doctors.
Yeah.
They don't have pharmacists. They don't have nurses. They don't have staff. They don't have staff in any educated. They basically are using this free, cheap labor to stopgap their absolute lack of presence.
Yeah. And very important about the cheap labor is untrained labor. So you're complaining on one hand about primary school education, but you're putting people without any training to teach in government schools across the country.
Or screening.
It's insane.
Or screening. There have been videos that have gone viral of coppers talking about the girls in senior secondary school. We don't know who these men and women are. We don't have any background. They don't have any training. We don't know if any of them are pedophiles.
You don't even know if they have sense.
We don't know we don't know their training. We don't know what they are teaching.
They don't
have
have
no
any
training. They don't have
honestly, they
the
have
capacity.
no training.
You are traumatizing people. Do you know that it's in the NYSC handbook that if anything happens to you, you're on your own? Like if you're on your way somewhere and you get kidnapped or you're on your own. The government doesn't provide housing for these kids. They don't provide anything. You literally just go there. It's indentured servitude. Forced indentured servitude.
It is, honestly.
It's rubbish.
And the truth is that, look, the government claimed that they were going to start paying
77K.
Are people receiving that?
No.
Okay.
No.
Very good. Anyway, fun fact. So I started thinking about this and I decided to do small Googling on how much is allocated to NYSC. Allegedly, according to Nairametrics, allegedly also, the NYSC budget is 49.74 trillion naira. Do you guys know what trillion naira is? Now, more fun facts.
Is that over what?
Okay, now. No, for the year 2025 budget.
No, it can't be trillion.
Okay, wait now. Wait now.
It can't be trillion.
Okay, hold on. 29.54
No, it can't be trillion.
I said, let me break everything down for you. You calculate it.
No, but how much is the Nigerian budget in
okay,
total?
now. I say you should wait. 29.54 billion for the provision of kits, transportation, and feeding for core members. That green trouser
transportation
is what they're using 29.54 billion for that cap. That trouser. Meanwhile, you still buy that nasty white shoe in the market by yourself. Yeah. You still purchase it. Hold on. We've not even gotten anywhere. 104.56 million for honorarium and sitting allowances, as well as 165 million for publicity and advertisement. Have you seen NYSC adverts? Where is it? Where did they do adverts for NYSC? Which billboard has NYSC on it? Just tell me what's the publicity that they do in NYSC? Okay, let's keep it moving. 50 million for postage and courier service.
Of what?
Did you receive letter?
Yes, to my email.
I didn't receive any letter personally.
No, when you are starting now?
No, I received email. I didn't receive any letter.
So nobody...
They gave me paper when I got there. Maybe that's it.
I'm so confused.
Then 730 million for the sporting activities.
Okay.
Like taekwondo, one thing.
Yeah.
So all those belts.
Najita said that she did taekwondo.
Yes, that's actually why I mentioned it. That's why I mentioned it. All those ton nets that they say they're doing volleyball. Next thing, 30 million for service-wide training on government integrated financial management information. Give me some.
No, please continue.
Okay. Other notable allocations for NYSC include 2.2 billion for financial charges. This comprises a breakdown of 961 million for bank charges and 1.25 billion for insurance premium.
I'm so confused. What are you talking about, Fakemi?
What do you say? What am I talking about? I'm talking about NYSC. Do what I'm talking about. Next thing, allocation of 45 million for the procurement of 3 sets of borehole materials in NYSC orientation camps.
So all over the country, they make boreholes in each camp.
I said 3 sets.
Every year.
I
So
said
three boreholes every year.
How much is borehole? You must be a joker. How much is borehole?
Continue, please.
Okay. Additionally, 120 million has been earmarked for the acquisition of 1,000 double bunk beds. Then, 520 million allocated for the purchase of 4 ambulance buses.
For all the 36 states?
Sure. So, ambulance bus is 100 and something million. I must go into that business.
No, but it's different from an ambulance.
Oh, the bus.
An ambulance bus.
Boys and girls, please, we've come here today with a request. We've come to beg you. We are on our knees.
Yeah.
Don't forget that we're sitting down. Just imagine it with your mind. Please, they said, you people, you always ask us for many things. Like now, Beyonce won a Grammy. They said, have her on the podcast. Okay, no, good and fine. But how do we want to have her when you don't want to subscribe? You don't want to share the podcast? You don't want to download? What are the other things they do again?
Everything.
Follow, what again? Comment, and what again?
Everything.
All the things.
Just do what you're supposed to do.
Do the things, and then we'll have Beyonce. Very simple.
Yeah.
Okay?
I even made a song. Do you want to hear my song?
That's not the video we're doing right now. Okay,
it matters.
See.
Because I need to clear my throat. Let me make sure that is in order.
You don't remember the song?
No, I want to make sure it's in order.
Of what?
Like, share, subscribe, and comment if you're not a bastard because it's important. That's another song.
That's the whole song.
That's also.
Okay, there's no chorus, hook,
no need.
bridge.
You know, I'm somebody that I like to be brief, succinct. Tell them what to do. Let them get it in one go. See, you are talking. I did one line. But yeah, guys, you know what to do.
Please.
Yeah.
Do all the
it's
things.
important.
It's important.
It's important.
And then
they want Beyonce to come to a podcast with 40,000 subscribers.
Thank you. When you people will not subscribe. See,
lunatics.
Sometimes you really upset me. Because we're going up and down. Oh, we're the biggest. Only for you to open there, we don't have up to 40,000 people. What's it? What's the essence?
All right, guys, enjoy the rest of the episode.
Don't let us be disgraced as a community, please. Please, don't let us be disgraced, please. Next, do you know what's so crazy to me? 28.9 million has been allocated to the procurement and installation of man o' war equipment. Didn't you do man o' war?
Okay, that net that we used to climb over, and then the tires, and that rope that they hang.
Wait now. 35 million is allocated for the purchase of 1,000 life jackets. Then,
do you know my favorite part? A lot of these states, the camp is landlocked.
Wait now. Then, 97.34 million is proposed budget dedicated to the purchase of Said training materials.
Okay,
so
I
the
benefited
Said that
from
they
one.
do in the core of the program, only 97 million for the Said.
I benefited from that.
Okay.
I did tailoring.
You just told me that you didn't sew that skirt.
That's not the point. I got the training.
So can you sew skirts? What does that mean?
We'll see. Bring your material.
You know, so 426 million allocated for the purchase of teaching and learning aid equipment.
This is so crazy.
NYSC.
And that's not trillion. That meant to say
Table
billion.
life jackets is 10K.
That thing meant to say billion, not trillion. The sum is meant to say billion, not trillion. But that is crazy.
And that's what I want you guys to know. That's what they wrote there. It's probably billion. I'm going to Google it again. So this is just what I want you to know. This is what I want you to know, that this is what they've written for.
Anyway, when Ray complained, the next line of action was for somebody from her LGI, I believe. Her LGI coordinator called her to bully and lambast her about, like, she's insulting the government. Is she okay? And then asked her to come in. Basically tried to, basically insinuating that she's in trouble for complaining. And then some people now went and said, yes, because it's in the handbook that you can't take out partisan activities. And this is why I'm saying that NYSC is a waste. Because, and also that's like, our education system is in trouble. Because if you read the handbook and you say partisan activities equate somebody complaining just in general about the state of the country, use that certificate for tissue paper. Because your reasoning faculties are at best
down the drain.
At best 2/10. It makes no sense. Like, how have we gotten to the point where young people can't even be honest about how hard this country is? Then you, that you're acting as a lapdog for some alleged government somewhere, are you living in a different economy? Are you living in a different world?
Yeah.
Are you living in a different place? Are you paying different prices for goods? Do you have lights? Like, what is going on? What are you talking about?
Okay, now. Anyway, I just want to say to Nairametrics that you need to edit this article.
It's so insane. Like, I just can't understand. Because what Wale Lawal, our friend Wale, that runs the Republic, he said that it's been over the last, since 2016, NYSC has gulped 500 billion naira.
Yeah.
That doesn't serve any. There's no, that investment.
To correct, this budget is 40 something billion, not trillion, and last year was 33 billion.
Yeah, so in the last 9 years, NYSC allotment has been over 500 billion.
If you tell
me, do you know what 500 billion naira is? Where is the value of that investment
that's what
today?
I'm saying. That, look, I'm sorry.
Where is it?
Before, I would have said they should redesign it. At the stage where we are at, cancel it. Just cancel it.
The only people benefiting from this thing
Are people that don't want to
are
do
lazy
their work
governments
as
and
a
people
government.
that get
That's it.
contracts.
Even programs, other government programs, all these empire that are similar to NYSC, where you're putting people that have no training in primary healthcare facilities. I'm just wondering that, hey, yeah, I'm sick. I've gone there. Do you have medical training? No. You say you studied Greek. Okay, what are you doing in this school or this hospital? Or you did technical drawing. Okay. It doesn't make sense. We're fooling ourselves if we think, and the fact that it's compulsory, you cannot do this, you cannot do that without, it doesn't make any sense.
I don't understand.
And look, you've created a thing where people are just constantly trying to game the system.
And then
because it's another rent-seeking opportunity.
One,
because people are constantly trying to pay their way out of it.
And two, you also now have turned it into a mandatory thing.
Yeah.
So it's not a thing of, because I know when Nigeria is such a bizarre place, because on the one hand, there's all this, we dance around like the government doesn't know. They're very well aware. Because if this was solely a thing of pride and he was doing what he was supposed to do, you won't have to force people to do it.
You wouldn't.
People will immediately sign up. If it was a thing of pride and honor, like, okay, if you want, you can sign up for this program. But you have to force people because this thing is bullshit.
It's rubbish.
I can't believe that the Nigerian government expects young people to find their way, including to places that are deeply unsafe. You want them get there by any means necessary. And then what will happen? And then if anything happens to you.
You're shipping someone from Lagos to Nasarawa and you don't provide any means to say, okay, on this day, there's also transportation. If you cannot get there by yourself.
Coppers have been kidnapped and we see crowdfunding. The government is not involved.
They don't give a damn. They'll put you in companies that they've not checked anything there, in schools that are just, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And again, we must be honest with ourselves. What are we doing with it?
What is the game?
There is no skill you are acquiring in NYSC.
No,
I just want to be clear. There's nothing like, let's say that you even learn something there. Apart from who you might meet or, you've gone to another state for 3 weeks, there's nothing to be gained. I'm sorry. And so I don't know what we're still doing as a nation where we keep on just doing this program.
Because who is it benefiting? Because it's not Nigerians.
No.
Who is this thing actually benefiting? It's not the general public. I did NYSC in 14 or 15, something like that. Or 15 or 16, I don't even remember. But I can't think of 10 people I know that spoke about their service here as I learned this, like based on what the government provided and what I was supposed to do.
I didn't learn a single thing.
Or, my horizon brought in my career.
Okay, no. Well, no, I didn't learn it there because I did match past in primary school.
Can we please?
Okay, I'm just actually trying to contribute to the conversation, actually.
It's so irritating.
I was about to say I learned matching, but actually in Ruby House in Greenwood, I did matching.
Your mom, what does your mom think is going on? What the hell is Ruby House?
I was actually the princess.
What happened to Red House?
And one other year, I was twirling that stick that they do like this.
Say, what the hell? What the hell is Auntie Aquatic? Which one is Ruby House?
Greenwood is actually an advanced school.
What were the names of the houses?
Look at our
Ruby,
alumni.
what and what?
Sifis Higher of Kai alumni.
What does that have to do with Ruby and Red House?
It was Ruby, Topaz, Sapphire, Emerald. You people in basic institutions.
Blue, yellow, green, and red.
Yellow house. So we didn't use those. Ruby. If you're in Ruby House, you can see the way you behave. Sapphire. Could you spell sapphire at 8 years old? You couldn't spell emerald. That's what they had to line up and spell emerald. It's not easy to spell green. So please, everything was very complex. Everything was formation of E. Do you know what it is to spell EMER? Everything was plenty. Okay? So what my point is, even Match Pass did not teach me.
It's awful.
In NYSC.
It's awful
and as
unfair.
A human being, what do you want to use matching for?
It's just, I think
it's awful. But here's the problem. When they cancel it, do you know the problem? Do you know what I'm saying with the issue in Nigeria? When they cancel it, I'll be more annoyed by what they use the money for.
No, so this is the thing. Last week, we started talking about how people, there's a dearth of thinking. And there was a conversation that was going on yesterday that I was really interested in. And I was talking about how the Nigerian education system is so rigid that for people who want to do degrees outside of what they studied past a certain age, some Nigerian universities will tell you that, oh no, because you didn't do this subject in WAEC,
You can't do it.
you can't. Somebody was talking about how he wanted to do a PhD in, let's say, he wanted to do a PhD in machine learning or something, but he was an art student. So they were like, oh no, he has to go back and do certain WAEC. Please, the person in question has 4 degrees already.
It doesn't make sense.
So apparently, if you want to do certain, they can't, like, they will tell you that, oh, you don't have the requirements to. It is so bizarre to me. How are you so rigid in your thinking?
See, even the way they have, like, elsewhere, you have different types of adult learning communities or colleges where if you just want to pick up
a skill or
not even
you want to learn
degree,
something. Yes, you
just want to learn one single skill set. I want to do sales. And it's not somebody's personal course on Instagram. As in, this is a community college where they teach adult education
about
in
sales.
different things. You can take a course on giving speeches.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I do think it has to do with the fact that the Nigerian understanding of acquiring knowledge we'll have a conversation with this. I think maybe somebody like Wale, who'll be fun to talk to about this, but how we think about knowledge and learning, because it's seen as a thing of status as opposed to application, right? So you get a certain type of degree, but the point is to get the degree, not how you apply it.
Yeah, it's never about like your ongoing knowledge of what. It's just, okay, you have this degree and it's a piece of paper. So it's warped. And the thing about it is, because NYSC is mandatory, it could be
incredible.
It could be incredible. It could actually be a platform where, okay, I'm using this 1 year to figure out my life. These are the different skills that I can gain in NYSC plus real world experience. Instead, zero, nothing.
Even if you want to use people, even if the country is like, do you know what?
We need cheap labor.
This entire thing is a thing of pride to be able to say, not based on charity, but like in the year I did my service year, I spent 3 months training to become a teacher.
Yeah.
I spent 3 months in like basic, like just like I can do the sort of like basic triage at a hospital. I learned to do certain things. I worked on this school program. Oh, I'm an architect, and we basically, my own year, over the course of the year, we worked on a design program that, oh, this is how you can build a house with mud for less than 2 million. And it's a 2-bed, like projects that purely imaginative stuff, like, oh, I studied biochemistry and in my year I worked at something in Benue and I spent the whole year studying XYZ leaf, and now we now know that this leaf has these extra medicinal properties.
That's the thing. There is no basic training. There is nothing.
Things.
All this budget that they're using for is nothing. Look at what you're learning inside. And I'm like, this is meant to be
bead
entrepreneurial. How many of you want to do the bead making? How many beads are you buying?
Bizarre. Even if it's even basic, like, oh, you guys get somewhere. The year before you started, they did these boreholes.
This is the project.
So this is what we're continuing. And this is what we're doing. So it's going to take us 7 years to finish X, Y, but nothing. It's just this lack of thinking. And I don't know. I don't want to rant this whole episode, but genuinely, that's the first thing on my mind. That we're just not a thinking country.
Why not?
And do you know why it makes sense?
Why?
I've said it before. And I think I said it on the podcast. Nigerians think, again, because we don't think like normal people, we have like a very wishful thinking idea. So we look at our leaders and expect something different out of them, even though we can see their lives. Lagos over the last 40 years makes a lot of sense when you think about who has been in control of the city. So every time people complain about how Lagos is not like a beautiful green city, right? Allegedly, because that's our new thing here, allegedly, the supreme leader of Lagos, I pass his house every day. Lagos makes sense.
Which tree?
You see, there are things that make sense when you look at leadership.
When you look at it.
When you look at how they live or what they like. When Nigerian leaders travel, now so lunch in somebody's house that looks like they're in Lagos. I've never seen a Nigerian leader in a gallery, in a park.
You said gallery.
I've never heard that they went somewhere to see how...
No, they always do executive course.
I've never seen them in any space that shows you how you think about a country different. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I've never seen it before. People invest in what they're interested in. A leader that thinks of education as unimportant will never aspire to having more than honorary PhDs.
Yeah.
They don't care about learning. Of course, they're not going to invest in graduates.
They're not interested,
because they got to where
they're not interested in the youth. They don't want to study any program in the world.
They can't study any program in the world because they got to the highest levels of society by being bullies and area boys and touts. So what value is this education?
That's it. And I'm like, look, we're even going too far to say, oh, look at Teach for America, oh, Peace Corps. No, all these doctors without borders. Just basic, even what at the level of what does the country need? Even at that level of, you have how many, I don't even know how many people enter NYSC every year. You have X amount of people. This is what the country needs to. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
It's just very
it's frustrating because they will never do it. They will never say, you know what, let's just do two things correctly, right? This NYSC, this is a country that is mostly young people. And you see, lives are wasting.
It's crazy.
Lives are wasting. And so everything is messed up. Everything is it's actually a bit confusing because I just keep wondering, where do we go from here? Because every time it's getting worse. It's getting worse. It's getting worse. Meanwhile, the people that are in the leadership, they're full of sycophants. And so they're convinced.
Fikemi, do you think? No, I think sometimes we give too much credit to sycophants. Do you know why? Because let's be factual. You can't say you don't know.
Jala, they don't know.
No. Fikemi, you can't drive.
Okay.
You can't be driving around Ogun State and need sycophants, and the sycophants are telling you, no, the road is good.
Let me tell you,
that's not possible.
They're promoting that on one day, the price of onion went down by like 15
all those
naira.
ones are different, Fikemi. I'm saying you can't drive around in Lagos, for example, and say that people are... You can't see Lagos and say this is a clean state.
Chola, they're saying, do you remember Lagos is this Dubai?
No. You guys understand what I'm trying to say? Yes, they can whine you, but only if you're crazy. Let me give you an example. Me and you love London. That's our favorite city in the world. You can whine the mayor of London.
Yeah.
You can't whine anybody that drives from the airport
to anywhere.
To Lekki. You can't whine. If you look outside the window at any point, you can't whine anybody that has eyes and sits down in the car.
I saw
so when we keep talking about sycophants, can we be real?
Lagos smelling. Are we joking? Have you been outside? Is it those drains that they don't
Which one
clear?
is sycophant? Fikemi, you don't need sycophants to yarn you that, this place is not clean. Even if a sycophant is telling you that this place is clean, is it that you can't see?
Look, Oikoyi, that's the most expensive place. All the water is brown.
Or if you drive around a city and you see a ton of just like homeless children begging, who can whine you about? Your state has you have a commissioner that's in charge of women and youth, and then there are things. I didn't know that we had like government-owned like orphanages and remand homes and all those things. We have them. If you drive around your city and you just see these children everywhere, does anybody need to lie to you that don't worry, they're just playing? You don't want to. It's a nice excuse that you don't know, but it's not true. It's not true. You can't drive around Lagos and not see like homeless people. You don't have to have, people to tell you that housing in Lagos is too expensive and there's not enough public housing. So we're lying. We're also playing into the fallacy when we start saying their assistants are not telling them. They are surrounded by sycophants. Sycophants works better in an environment that's developed. Nigeria is not a developed country. So which one is they are whining you? It's so bad now that our public servants don't use the actual airports.
Yeah.
They use private landing.
Because the airport is nonsense.
Which one is whining? They don't need to whine you about that now. Shebi, you're seeing.
Their children cannot go to government schools.
So which one, exactly? So which one is whining?
They know that the government schools
Let's not play into that, because I think it's also a better coping mechanism to be able to say, I think the government is in our way because they're surrounded by sycophants, than to boldface just accept that these people don't fuck. They don't fuck with you. They don't give a damn. I would 100%. It's like dating now, or it's like being in a family. It's better to say, my dad is busy, than to say
He actually doesn't give a shit about
time that
me.
he has, he doesn't
Yeah.
want to spend with us. It's better to have the excuse. And that's what Nigerians do. You cannot be a governor of any state in Nigeria and be under the impression that things are okay. You don't need any
Nothing is
assistance
okay.
to tell
Just
you.
look around. Look around. On this one of Lagos Smelly, see everywhere is dirty. Look around. Look anywhere. Look on any streets you like. Everywhere is filthy. I'm sorry to say, there are very few roads that there's not dirt lingering all over everywhere. In many, many parts of Lagos, the PSPs don't go on time. It's a mess. They don't clean the drains. Gutter smell all over the place.
Less than 30% or is it 40% of Lagos gets their water from like the public water corporation.
And the potable water are gone by the time it gets to you.
So do you now need, so are you telling me, Fekemi, with that statistic alone, is it for your essay to be lying to you that everything is okay?
You're buying water.
Do you not know? You have people that call you, and let's not pretend about the way our societies or our people are. Once you gain any sort of public, I don't want to say notoriety, but any sort of fame or publicity, once you're in a space where people think you make more than enough to take care of yourself. I didn't say rich. You can't be under any impression about what this country actually is like.
Because people call you every day to ask you for
things. So why are we saying bullshit like the governor, president is surrounded by
I run a
psychopaths?
factory.
It's not true.
A lot of my workers are on minimum wage. The loans that like staff are taking is 15K, 20K to complete school fees. We're not talking about, nobody needs 500K.
Exactly.
To do anything.
You can't be lying.
As in, their child is sick, they need 9K to buy drugs. It's insane.
So that's all I'm going to say. Like, let's stop all that one of they're surrounded by psychophants. They don't know. There is no governor, local government chairman, commissioner, minister. There's nobody that works in any parastatal that doesn't know how this country works. They don't need any. Take it for what it is. They don't care about you. They want to steal and rob. And that's what they want to do. Don't be under the impression.
And that's actually what the system is set up to do. What I've actually fundamentally realized is that it's actually very difficult to do it correctly because the way we've done it now, the only thing you can accomplish is taking the money and not doing anything. Everything is set up for you to be able to do that. Very few things are set up for you to be able to do work. And we're getting into a problem.
Again, I'll push back. So, do you know how much power some people have? Leave all this set up for you to fail it.
No, I didn't say set up for you to fail. I just set up for you to steal. Failure is different. Okay. It's only people that are working that can fail. These ones don't have any plan of working.
Fair.
What I'm saying is the system is set up for you to not do any work and do PR. Meanwhile, we don't... Anyway, look, we can go on and on about this, but we're living in a failed state. That's just what I want you guys to understand. Lagos does not have public spaces. We don't have shit. We don't have anything. Which park can you find yourself in?
The last thing I will say is just the lack of planning shows all the time. You live in an area, right? You live in, I don't know, Aja.
Sure.
And houses were just springing up. There was no plan. Like for every 6
Everywhere there's space.
For every 6 kilometers, you need a hospital that can service these types of people. You need a school. You need a kindergarten. You need a public space. And you need a public pool. You know how like you are designing based on people's needs. But no, and then you want to tell me that the government, they know like mad, don't worry, they don't give a damn. They don't give a damn. Let us just accept that one
so you're
first.
Forcing people in the private sector to take on things
and you know what I don't
you're
like?
Never meant to take on.
You know what I don't like? Finally. I'm tired of, because we all know somebody that works somewhere. Oh, it's nice. So it's not like that. So, and he really tries, he really cares. Let's stop. Like we all know somebody. Everybody has an uncle, a cousin's brother, a former roommate's uncle that actually came one time, so you know him. Actually a good guy. Don't worry. Free that one. He still doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
She still doesn't care.
They don't care.
And it's better. The quicker
the sooner we all accept
wrap our minds
it,
around
the better
that's when we can now start figuring out what we want to
I saw
do.
a video today that, honestly, I just said, man, 2027 has gone. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We're not ready. Nobody's ready. And so it's okay. It's okay. I'm not sure what we're going to do, Sha, because to survive is like insane. but I don't know what we want to do. Sincerely, I actually don't know what I want to do. I have been trying to house people at work
Oh my
because
God.
I'm getting a lot of staff that like they
live too far.
They work in Abara and my factory is in Ikeja.
Mm-hmm.
And so to hire them, obviously they need
A place
accommodation.
to stay. Yeah.
Do you know that you see what I have seen in trying to find livable, not fancy, livable housing that human beings who are full adults, they are family men and women can stay during the week and go home on the weekend. What I have seen with my eye, you will not believe it. What people are calling house. I say, sorry, who can live here?
And they'll tell you that
They
one
tell
is
you
a
that
nice
no
one,
people
no.
are managing. There was one place I went to, they put 3 bunk beds inside a room. And I said, sorry, I want to understand what you're telling me. 6 people should live inside this place.
You know,
Only for them to tell me after 500k rent, there's no water, ma.
Yes, no.
I said, sorry, who's supposed to do the water? They say, you, ma. Who, me? Me, who? It's insane behavior. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense what is going on. And so I'm like, where do you want people to be? Where do you want them to live? What do you want them to do? And I've been talking to a lot of friends that come. Am I the only one facing this thing of all of a sudden you have to house all your staff
Yes.
because they can't afford it?
Because they can't afford anything anymore.
So me, I'm like, okay, me that I'm a company that I've calculated my profit margin.
No,
I'm
no,
now
no.
doing a rent business because I have to house everybody.
Yes.
It doesn't make sense.
They can't afford to transport. Some of them is like, it's not even that the housing
They can't
is
afford
that
it.
far.
When by the time you're paying 4K, like 3K to go to and for how much is your salary?
Yep.
How much is your salary? How much do you want to use on transportation? So my choices are, okay, don't hire anybody or hire them and do the accommodation. But all the accommodation for what it is as in, I'm talking about literal rooms. This is what you people are calling self-con.
It's so frustrating.
The world, and then let me tell you the one I hate, the mini flat. Whoever came up with that is an evil person. Because what you people are calling mini flats, I actually can't believe what's going on. And I always ask, who is meant to be regulating this thing? Who is meant to stop people from being able to do this? There's nobody. There's nothing. Look, affordable housing does not exist in Lagos. If you look for affordable housing, you must move to Ibadan.
Yeah. Fake, can please stop talking about this thing. It's starting to depress me. It's very irritating. More of our stories, the government doesn't care about you.
Can I tell you, not fun, but just another interesting thing I've noticed. Adverts have become really whack. So today, I normally sleep in the car at all times. Today, I decided that
You want to listen to the radio?
No, radio, okay. I decided it doesn't know I hate more than radio. I decided I'll be awake. And on my sojourn across the bridge, I decided to look at all the posters. Adverts have become really whack and crazy. What happened, and even the radio, to be honest, what happened to, as in all those jingles, all the ads that like you remember?
Yeah.
We don't have them anymore.
Yeah.
Now, the adverts are, I don't even want to say some because I'm like, okay, this is the company I'm calling out. It's not about you, but they are bad.
Yeah.
They're really bad.
I think something that people forget is part of it is like what censorship and fear does. Because it stifles creativity.
But is it censorship to
hold on.
promote your product in a way that makes sense? Let me explain
what I mean. There is a culture that stifles creativity. And it's not always obvious. So did you guys know that apparently Gangs of Lagos can't show on Prime anymore?
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, so Indigenes of Lagos State said that it's the way it showed the Ayo masquerades was tantamount to slander.
When was this
or something
meeting?
like
because
that.
I'm actually an indigene. I wasn't invited.
But the point is that you're thinking of it in a very myopic way, right? Because the idea of storytelling, you can't even take like liberty and license. Because if you think of how creativity develops, it's in an atmosphere of freedom. Again, everybody just stick with me. You guys know I like long, winding explanations, so just stick with me. It's the reason why a lot of stuff that comes out of the church outside of music is not great in terms of film and art. Because in an environment where your fear is about people's perception, who you're insulting, who you're offending, and what that's going to do to your career long term, you're stifled. So you don't go past a certain. That's why very, very little creative innovation comes out of the church, because of that culture of reverence. And it is not bad, it just is what it is. Now in society, when you see like bursts of creativity and where they come from, look at the kind of environment that it's allowed to come from. You can't tell people that they can't show depictions, they can't take creative liberty, even if they put a disclaimer ahead of time because of your personal sensibilities, right? Think of all the stuff that people really like. Imagine if bankers were saying, or people who work in finance or media were saying they don't like how certain things make people on Wall Street look. Think of all the shows we love, The Wire and all those things. If they said that, oh, they don't like how it makes the police look. Or you can't create in that kind of environment and you take away the investment. Who is going to give anybody money in a country where some group can just come and say, I don't like how
this is portrayed, take it off.
Take it off. Where am I meant to get back my investment? So what is Amazon Prime meant to do now?
Oh, well, the cuckoo said that we're on our own. I didn't even know that, but I'm sorry, that's insane because like, what are we talking about?
Yes, I think there is a lack of understanding about how we do. Again, thinking. Every time I say people laugh, we're not thinking people. Our reaction to criticism is even one end. So even like creative exploration is so bizarre and so wild. Someone says, I am not happy about how my state is being run. And it becomes a thing about tribalism and rants. You go to a school and you say, why are you speaking? You can't hit me or you can't do this to me as a student. And it becomes about rudeness. Our inability to just understand the importance of freedom and discourse is crazy. It is so crazy.
For me, it's also a very low effort situation because a lot of things that happen in Nigeria are so basic and zero, like the minimal amount of effort has been put into it. That today, I kept looking at like billboard after billboard and just thinking,
this is boring.
This is what
you know why I'm also saying
on?
that in terms of like creative license. And do you guys remember a few years ago? I don't want, because I have friends that work in both banks, but I'm not trying to get phone calls. But there were two banks where one bank, I'll call them a red bank, they did an ad subbing another bank, an orange bank.
And the bank responded.
And it was like a thing. All of a sudden, apparently somebody vexed and the ad just disappeared.
But it was great banter.
And I just thought, I remember when the entire point of storytelling, advertising is to get people to think. Do you guys, one of the greatest ads, do you guys remember when Saka did the I Don't Pot ad? Do you know, like now, do you know that now that thing can't run in this country? Somebody's going to get offended and use their power, to squash it. I remember, was it from yellow to green or green to yellow? I just remember thinking, oh my God, this is so exciting. I remember when people were dying to work in advertising.
Let me tell you the truth. We're actually losing recipes because all those we don't have any of that anymore.
We don't have it.
Even Indomie, all those jingles. We don't have it. We don't have anything anymore. We actually, what's even irritating me is the last very good jingle that I heard, apart from this one about tomatoes. That one is quite good. I don't remember the name of the thing. Temisa sang it one day and it has been stuck in my head since then. This nonsense Orange Bank, which again must also crumble. their short code ad, phenomenal.
Yeah.
I have to say that jingle, one of the greats, to be honest. They actually played it in a club one time and I was like, but
no, there was a time. Do you remember when Asha used to sing? Like when you were entering the bank, you just be hearing Asha's voice.
Look, what I'm just saying is that for me, I was like, see, where we are as a nation is showing.
Yeah, creatively, people are stifled.
Everywhere you go, there is a culture of bajency. Just take.
Let me just do it.
We don't have to, because brands, and I'm talking about big international brands that in other places, they are putting their best foot. If you see the rubbish, once they've written the vibe, the Kineko, they've just put the ad. Once they've picked an influencer that has nothing to do with their culture or brand, they've just
story.
They've just done one poster shot. And I'm just like, is going on? You can't even have anything. There's nothing we can have. Zero joy, zero. And I was like, do you know how crazy it is that we don't even have exciting adverts again?
Okay. I want us to get into dilemmas, but somebody should remind me about, just say, artists and the culture when we're done with this thing. That was what me and Faye came to talk about.
So, these are just the things.
But you're right. You're 100% right.
Can I also say that one of the things I really enjoyed about the last episode was I saw a comment. I saw 2 comments actually that made me chuckle. So obviously there was a lot of good feedback
Meanwhile, if you came here because of that.
Wait, no. There was a lot of fun feedback about that. Now we have a lot of intellectuals.
Someone that said, this is what they should use. This is what podcasts are for. I said,
So sorry to deceive you,
How did you say my sister?
Anyway,
we love rubbish over here.
Men had a tough time in that comment section. The first man said, something you people are biased towards women.
You don't say.
The other person said, you people turn everything into gender. People were now just commenting, sorry, are you new here? This is bias. If you're looking for unbiased news, tune into CNN. Okay? Here, what we're into is bias. I want to announce it ahead of time. I support women's rights, women's wrongs, all. Anyone they want to do. So I just found it so funny. I said, sorry, you came here, you saw this place, and your conclusion is that we're biased before. This is a place of people's opinion. There's nothing concerning integrity of journalism here. No. I do not work for Sky News. Okay? So please, I just want you to know that if you're new here, lovely to have you. We're into women bias.
100%.
Okay? We're into it like crazy. And so if you are looking for, a platform where they always hear both sides of the story, we don't hear that. We don't do that here. So just to welcome you. Okay, what are people going through?
Okay, before we start, this person calls themselves Jola's Wig Update.
Screaming.
And that's very interesting because I just recently asked for the price of 2 different wigs. You guys will be seeing them soon, right? I'm going to have to rob to be able to afford them. I'm going to be getting my mask very soon. But you guys will be seeing 2 ladies.
Because different influencers have been coming up to cry about different lifestyle things that they participated in making look like rubbish. One person did a video about hair vendors. Another person did a video. What was the second video about clothes?
Yeah.
Another person did a video about one. I said, when all of you are doing fake life anymore, look at it now. All of us are together. We're suffering.
There's an outfit I wanted to buy for my birthday. I told Faye Kemi, she still couldn't believe it. You guys, that outfit is 350K.
I kept asking Jola that, okay, is it like the both? Like the full set?
Even the full set. Even if I want to carry the model home, how much is she? 350K.
And it's not that the outfit is not nice, but you know that
how nice can you be, baby? Hey, 350.
I look at the outfit, I said, what could be inside? When you wait now, your chances of going to heaven, do they increase?
They better.
That birthday that you want to do is like you do it for 2 weeks.
No, I'm not
You'll be wearing it every week.
When I collected 80K bill for one pizza. Which birthday? For fasting. Okay, this person is called Jola's Wig Update. Who says, Una, well done. I have to read it because that's how I read it. I really love you guys. Anyway, I came to give you an update even though you didn't read my first dilemma. You know how you guys say that when we write to the podcast, we already know what to do? Turns out I did. Because I sat down, read my dilemma from a third-party standpoint, advised myself, and broke off the relationship. It's the most peace I've felt in 3 weeks. Being single in this America is not for the faint-hearted, especially when you've not made friends, but I'm good there all right. Love you girls, mwah. You see what I love? A proactive young lady. Okay? She sat down, probably used one of the voices I used to read her problem, and then told herself, my sister, you have no business being here, and got on her merry way. God bless you, girl. That thing is funny, Sha. Do you know I've done this before? Maybe I'm about to send a text.
And then you just delete it.
Then I read the text and I'm like, okay, but you, Seth, are you a fool? Because maybe I'm asking for advice. Like, what do you think? I've read it. I am the fool, actually. So let me just delete this thing and go about my merry way. Fun times.
I'm trying to see you guys, the dilemmas are really long. I want to be honest with you. It's not that I don't want to read it, but like,
Somebody
this is actually a short story.
said, somebody here is called Tony. And she says, my husband lies too much. He told someone that I had agreed to a major decision that I never even discussed with him. The lie not only put us in serious financial trouble because we were sued and lost, but when I got home to address it, he acted as if he was oblivious to everything. It wasn't long before the truth came out, and I have never felt so embarrassed. Ever since that incident, I find myself second-guessing every single word he speaks, and I end up looking like a fool every time I trust him, and it's starting to weigh on me. Bro, do you know something? We need to start asking people to send more happy things in, because I think people think we're purposely doing like bad PR for marriages
and
or relationships
not.
or whatever,
It's
but
just...
we're not. Do you know how crazy it is to me? Let me tell you something. I've always thought, this is my impression as an unmarried lady. I thought that marriage was you and your guy.
Yeah.
You plan in the house how you want to lie. And you go out and lie together. Or you plan in the house how you want to do.
Not that as in you're lying. Let's see. We have to be on the same page.
On the same page about our foolishness.
We must whine others.
Yes.
Not ourselves.
I've always thought that marriage is two fools getting together to agree after an agreed level of tomfoolery to the world.
That's the only way it can be.
So when things like this happen, I'm always very confused, because I also assumed couples are supposed to be lying to others, not to themselves. I'm not saying lying is out of the question.
No, you must.
I'm just
That's
saying
the only
that
way to do
you're
it.
lying to other people, but to each other.
It's the kind of thing where what I expect of my husband is when, like, let's say now, I tell you a lie, I quickly call my husband. If they ask you, you must also lie. And what I expect is that even if I don't call him, once he hears that stupid thing, he knows that this babe is lying.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
This babe is lying again.
That's really embarrassing and really sad.
Really sad.
Especially things that have to do with money, right?
That's actually really sad. Because, like, you're just... and the thing is, you're posturing for other people and you want to also posture for your wife as well. Who else is supposed to know that, as in, it's two of us that have this problem? Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't really get it. I'm struggling to find something that is not 5 minutes long to read out. This looks interesting.
It's because you're not a thespian. As a thespian, I can read anything with pleasure and with joy. I think you can come for classes when we have our sleepover.
Which class?
Thespian classes.
Oh, Joe.
Yeah. You don't think I can teach you how to be a great thespian? Voice acting.
Okay, that's what you do here.
Okay, but no, but they know I'm a thespian.
Who is
Our audience knows I'm a thespian.
Spell thespian.
Yeah, a fool. But they know that I'm a thespian and I give my all in the little ways that I can.
There's a dilemma about sleepovers.
Okay.
Which I think we should do ahead of us in case that was scatters the friendship. Is this friendship worth saving? Hi, Jola and FK. First of all, I just want to say how much I love your podcast. Your advice is always so funny and thoughtful. And I love the way you break things down. Lots of kisses to you guys. Thanks so much.
Mwah.
Is that what they do as a thespian?
Continue. Jealousy.
To my dilemma. I've been friends with my friend for 7 years and we've always had a smooth relationship. Barely any conflicts. We go to different universities, but we make time for each other during the holidays. And she usually comes over for sleepovers. Last September, during one of her visits, I said something that upset her and she got cold and distant. When I asked what was wrong, she brought up how I had done similar things before, dating back to 2022. I was shocked because she never mentioned it before. I told her I never intended to hurt her and that she should always tell me immediately instead of bottling things up. We made up, but the whole situation felt off. Okay, after she left, I decided I wasn't going to host sleepovers anymore.
Okay.
It just felt weird knowing she could be strong enough to stay in my house, sleep comfortably, and still give me attitude like that. If the situation were reversed, I wouldn't have let it put a strain on our time together. The next holiday, she wanted to come over, but I told her it wasn't convenient. She never suggested we meet up, but later she saw me out with another friend and got upset that I didn't invite her. I reassured her it wasn't intentional and even offered to go out together, but she declined, saying she wanted to be financially responsible. Now, here's where things take a turn. Last year, she logged into her Instagram on my second phone, and I never logged her out. I hadn't looked at her accounts until much later when curiosity got the best of me. I searched my name in her DMs and saw that she had talked about me multiple times, mostly to her boyfriend. She made comments about how I dress and the kind of lifestyle I supposedly live, which didn't sit right with me. Just recently, I checked again. I know I shouldn't have. And I saw her venting to her boyfriend about how I didn't hang out with her over the holidays. But his response really shocked me. He told her not to worry because I probably didn't want her around since I knew she wouldn't approve of the things I do when I go out, implying things like drugs. She put an exclamation mark there. So she's very scandalized.
You see, yeah, you can learn.
Drugs.
Next time you jump when you say it.
Yeah, that's a crazy one. I have never done drugs in my life. Never was also in all caps. Very important. So I have no idea why he thinks that. The only way he could have gotten that impression is from what she's told him. I feel so hurt. This is a friend I've had for 7 years. And this is a boyfriend she only met last year. I would never speak about her that way, and I don't know what else she said behind my back. Should I confront her, distance myself, or just let the friendship fade? I feel like I've seen a side of her I never knew existed. What should I do? I'd really appreciate your thoughts. Drugs! You should...
No, I think sometimes...
That's all I suspect, that the reason the boyfriend thinks she's on drugs, but he's probably on drugs.
I think with things like this, let me be honest, depending on... By the time you get to a certain level, you already kind of know you don't want to be friends anymore. I think if someone starts to act weird and you can sense it, if you let it go, are you going to miss the friendship or not? Like there's no... Sometimes with adulthood, some people get into relationships, start behaving somehow. There's all sorts. I think there's a lot of value sometimes in freeing things.
Yeah, and there's also I also want to say that we're big on saying communicate, but what I'm finding more and more is not every battle is actually worth the fight. We should be less opposed to freeing things and people. This situation, first of all, see, I always say it's that when you're looking for things, you find them. Next time, don't search anybody's phone. Don't search anybody's Instagram. It's for your own good. But now that you've seen it, here is my question. When you have this conversation, what are you expecting to gain out of it? Because even if this babe says she's sorry, she's been doing it for so long that you know that is not true. It's not as if she knew or thought that you were going to see it. So this is her mind coming out. See, when people do pillow talk, they're very honest. They're very honest with the stupid boyfriend. With the stupid boyfriend. No, that was where, see, if I want to gossip very well, is that stupid man that is biased and primed to listen to my rubbish that I have to be talking to. But my question is, what is to be gained from this confrontation that you want to have? If she tells you sorry, you're not going to believe her. And I know you want it so that there'll be some sort of conclusion, but she has already concluded the matter for you. She already thinks that you don't, she doesn't approve, whatever. This is not, for me, the conclusion of the matter is that this is not even really a person that you want in your life anyway. So it's sad and it's unfortunate and, you might miss the friendship, but ultimately, you're better off freeing it now. Which one is all the nonsense? And I beg, for the sake of peace, log out of our Instagram.
Yeah,
Joe,
please do that.
Please log out of our Instagram. It doesn't make any sense, okay? So when she wonders why you stopped talking to her, it could be the drugs.
I have one that I know this is really going to get the Instagram people going. Yeah,
let's have it.
Because it's a very domestic thing. So this person is a 2025 bride. And says, my fiance doesn't want us to sleep in the same bedroom when we get married. We always share a room on vacations, but somehow he insists that we should not do so in our marital home. He even said his parents never ever shared a bedroom and they've been together for over 40 years. My parents have always shared a bedroom and this is something I want for myself. What should I do? Should I accept it just like that? After all, it could be a blessing in disguise. That's it.
It could be a blessing in disguise to not sleep in the same
To have your own bedrooms. Not that you don't sleep in the same room, but you have different bedrooms.
So what he's suggesting is that
they have separate rooms.
In order to not sleep in the same room.
That's fake. I mean, why are you talking like this?
No, because they're saying it as if it's like he wants them to sleep in the same room, but have the different bedroom for some other reason. Like maybe for her to put her clothes or something. Mm-hmm. What? Okay, I don't mean to be somehow, but what are we talking about here? What's the meaning?
But some people don't.
If you want to have a flatmate, have a flatmate. Don't marry. I don't know what we're talking
Do you know
about.
what's killing me? Because you know I want separate rooms, right?
Yes, but you will still sleep in that bed. I know you. You sleep there. When you want to dress up, you go to that other room. I don't think that's why I'm trying to clarify that me wanting, like a den for myself is quite different from sleeping in a separate bed. What I'll say is I don't get it.
I know. I understand what you mean. I do think that culturally, and this is so interesting because I had a discussion with somebody about like the aim of marriage counseling, all right, or like all this relationship counseling. And a friend of mine actually told me that it was marriage counseling that changed her mind about rooms.
Yeah.
She wanted separate bedrooms. Her husband did not. I've always thought that it was the other way around. She wanted it. And it was during marriage counseling that she realized like, actually, we should have, but what she realized she wanted was her own space.
Yes.
And I think that it's so interesting because our culture, again, thinking, what do you actually want?
So that's my question for this couple. If one of or both of you want your own space, that's fine. Me, to be honest, if we sleep in the same bed, but like I have my space over here for my own things, or like just sitting alone somewhere, and space allows you to have your own space, or our primary bedroom is mostly my space and you have another room, whatever, that's fine. I don't have any issue with like, this is this person's like corner of the house and this is my own corner of the house. But for me, what I don't understand, and there's nothing wrong with it, but I don't understand it because it's so different from what I want. The idea of being newly married
and having different rooms
and sleeping separately. I'm sorry to say, I don't get it at all.
I do understand what they're saying.
Unless what they're saying is that he wants his own space, which is very different from not being in the same bed. And also the thing about parents is a lot of the people I know from like the older generation who didn't sleep in the same bedroom, they don't like each other. They don't want to be there. That marriage they've done is they've had you people as children and they're like, please get away from me. Do you know what I mean? So I don't get it. And I'm saying I don't get it because let's it not be that. There's not one way to do things, but personally, I don't get it. And worse still, it doesn't seem like she gets it. Because if we travel, I am fine. Maybe because that's for a short period of time. Yeah, it's different.
I do understand like wanting your own space. So this is just a funny thing, but one of the things that my mom laughs about is that she's just like, she doesn't know how I'm going to live with somebody because, you know, that's part of why they want you to get married early, right? To learn to, because the older you get, the more used to your own space, your own way of doing things, and you become a lot more rigid, right?
Yeah.
I think if a lot more people had their way, they would be able to just explain that I need my own space. I want to be able to relax without consideration to somebody else. And no matter how close you are, there's something about having to be considerate in a shared space. Even if you guys have been together, even if you can read each other's minds, there is something about a shared space that requires consideration. If you've shared a room with siblings, if you shared rooms with siblings for a long time, siblings know you better than your parents do, right? You guys are closer than close. But there is still consideration when you share a room. So I understand, but I do think what you want to ask him is it that you don't want to be sleeping with me all the time?
I think you need to clarify what is going on in this situation because, and also, so I always ask this question and it sounds funny, but like, what do people talk about before they get married? Because I mean, I can see how might say...
They're talking about... But the thing is that maybe she just thought...
They're already married, Jola.
No, they are getting married.
Okay. She said she's 20... Okay, yeah,
she's 25 bride.
Okay, fair enough. So they're talking... I misunderstood. Yes, they're talking about it. But is it something that
you think you should know before you guys even get engaged?
Because let me tell you the thing is that fundamentally, if on something as basic as do we sleep in the same bed or not, we are opposed... What my suspicion is that actually we have different views on many, many things.
Do you feel that's because of room?
What I'm saying is not about room. Room is a small thing, but like for me, it's quite important. It's every day.
Fair.
Like is a core part of your life going to bed, and so you don't have it as a routine. And what I would wonder is, okay, what else are we? So I don't think I can marry someone that doesn't want to sleep in the same bed as me. Frankly,
fair.
To me, it doesn't make sense. There's no point of the marriage.
Fekemi, you're so dramatic.
My dear, the dating we were doing, we were in our bed now. We now say we should marry. You say you want to sleep. Okay, go and live next door. What are we talking about? I don't get like.
Fekemi, so dramatic.
Do roommates. Do
you know the thing is that maybe it's just because the thing is
shared apartments.
I get it because if you feel so strongly about having your own space that you do, because so for instance, can you imagine like how it would feel if you both have your own rooms, right? And you're like, okay, I want to sleep in my husband's room today. He now says, no, he's not in the mood.
Can I tell you what's insane?
I didn't say I want to fuck. I said I want to sleep in the same bed.
No, forget that. Let me tell you the scenario. Let me tell you the scenario that is so crazy to me. These people still have sex. What you're telling me is after I've removed all my pants, everything, guy was sleep. You now wear your jeans. You now go to your room. You now lock the door. Pay good night. Yati Jamie.
I'll start charging.
I'll be shy.
Since that's what we're doing.
I'll be shy.
I'll say, okay, which mood are you in? Short time or?
I'll be shy.
Yes, let's move on. Since that's the home we're running now.
So what you're saying is on a day where we both go to bed, you now text me that, oh, hey, do you want to come over? What be using intercom? Hey. What's happening here? So let me tell you what will not happen. You're now cozy onto cuddling, and he's like,
that exactly. They said nothing like clearing your throat.
Okay, so when will you go to your room? It's time for bed.
Do you know what I think?
Why don't you fuck off?
I have a cantankerous personality.
I'll carry your duvet.
I also just don't take people like that seriously. Me, if I've settled in for the night and he start tapping me, have you seen that video of that woman said, hello, don't give me any unnecessary headache. Otherwise, I'll put you in my nose.
Yeah.
Say, sir, don't give me any unnecessary headache.
Or just imagine, like, just a random thing. Maybe you watch a movie or he comes back and you go to his house to gist. Go to his room to gist. And you're gisting. You're lying down in bed, you're gisting. And he's like, oh, let me quickly shower. Then he comes out, oh, you're still here.
No, do you know what? Fair enough.
I'm sorry. Let me tell you, because I'm a somehow person, I think about somehow things. Can I tell you that one day we'll be arguing and this person say, go to your room. I'm not going to my room. I'll actually self-combust. So, look, this is the kind of nonsense that can come
fair
up.
Enough.
No, it can't work. It can't work for me. No, I'm sorry. It actually can't work for me. There are too many scenarios in which this is unrealistic. Okay? So, I just wanted to understand. Do you know what I mean? But I don't. And so...
Well, for what you should do, I think you should talk about it strongly. I think I think about more and more recently is how a lot of women, I think some of it is due to socialization, some of it is due to fear, are very active in other parts of their lives. But somehow they allow their partner set the tone for things that are important to them. So he's the one deciding when you guys are getting married. And because he doesn't want to share a room, you guys don't share a room. And because you do things on his own time, on his own calendar. And there's something about the idea that he doesn't want to share a room, but you do. And I hope he's thinking about this as much as you are.
As much as you are.
I hope he's also being like, she really wants to share a room, but I don't. As opposed to me, I've said I don't want to share a room.
So without being presumptuous, my concern would be if this is something you are like ruminating on in your mind over and over. And for him, it's just like a fact. You know what I mean? For him, it's just like, I don't want to share a room, so we're not sharing a room. And it's not a conversation. Again, I can't know because I'm presuming, but I hope this is not it. Okay, I have...
Yeah, I think you should take it seriously.
Yeah. Let me see which one of these two I would like to consume. Okay. Well, there's two. Let's just see how it goes. Do you want Mom and I, or do you want a situation about mother finding out something, or a situation about situationship? Lovely. My mom and I says, okay, so my mom literally...
Thespian,
bloody hell.
Come on.
This is not my bag.
Come on.
Let me tell you something. My voice is like velvet.
Shut up.
Do you know what I mean? It's smooth.
Yeah,
the people who call me...
Let's go. Come on.
The people who call me to listen to me, they're into my voice. I'm telling you, people say it all the time. Okay? So I think we should just focus.
You sound like there's okra in your throat.
You have to do all these things. You got with the
That's how
voice.
you sound.
You have to do all these things to match the velvety nature. Can you see what you're doing? You have to do all these things to match the velvety nature. Sorry, can I just say that I was having an argument with a sibling? I would just say.
Dekule. Dekule is Dekule.
And he said that I'm a baby. So I said, okay, you that are talking to somebody that is a baby, is that a sensible plan? How can you be arguing with a baby? That's crazy. So that's an aside, but that's just what you're doing now. Okay. Anyway, this one says my mom and I. Okay, so my mom literally just found out I'm no longer a virgin. And the way she took it was so calm, unlike what I expected. Long story short, my mom and I have a very toxic, difficult relationship. And we've been trying to work it out for a while now, which is basically 50% working out. Now, she saw condom in my room. I don't even know why I was so careless with hiding it. And this woman saw it and didn't even know all this while. I've been acting so cool instead of avoiding her. She shall laid the bomb on me, and to my surprise, she acted so demure, so cool and calm, unlike what I expected her to react like a normal, strict Nigerian mother would, which I appreciate, but I'm scared she might use it against me later on because of how toxic our relationship has been. What do you guys think of my life? Because me, I'm already looking for apartments, literally. How can you say, what do you think of my life?
I think parents sometimes will always surprise you.
I think
some parents do, in that. I remember one of my friends was telling me that her mom kind of realized that she was sexually active, and she said that she thinks it's a very Igbo parent thing. And the woman just said, "Don't mess yourself up." And then kind of was like, she like basically, and then after that kind of had a whole spiel about you need to be careful. And, boys are stupid, so you better know what you're doing, blah, 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 blah. But it wasn't what she thought.
Yeah, that was basically, to be honest, the summary for me, that if you like...
that the kind of... So I think parents are surprising because people react in different ways.
Yeah.
And this might not be the thing she's hung up on.
This might not be her hill
to die.
But like, don't confuse yourself. Nigerian parents are somehow, anything that can be used against you will.
So it's just a matter of time, don't worry.
Against you. So
it's a matter of time.
Personally, I don't think it is final apartment. It's a matter of time.
It's a matter of time.
She will still say
it will come up.
She will still say, it's my worry. But like, it's out. What do you want to do? You two, please, why are you leaving condom all about the place? What's happening?
Left eye. It's a fashion item for her.
Are you, like, what's happening? Why are you not throwing...
You know how left eye used to wear a condom on her eye?
Yeah, but why are you not throwing things away? These are the somehow
No,
things.
It's not used now.
Yeah, but like, why are you not hiding it better?
Some parents are nosy.
Fair enough. Maybe she checked your cupboard.
She checked your cupboard, or you might have put it somewhere that is not open, but...
maybe she's like, oh, cool, using condoms. Great.
She's probably still thinking of...
She's probably still thinking of what to say,
yeah.
I think, if you have a toxic relationship with your mom, actually a typical Nigerian mom, I don't want to lie to you.
It's coming.
It's coming up.
It's coming.
I want to give you every assurance. It's still even if you move to that apartment, when you get to the apartment, it will still come up.
For sure.
Now you want to go into sex fully, full time. That's why you're moving into an apartment to entertain men. That's what they're going to tell you. So I think it's just one of those things that, look, she has surprised you, and also brace yourself. It's coming. It's coming for sure. If you already have a toxic relationship, surely this one will come up. You've even just given her more ammunition. Don't worry yourself. So I think it's fine. Look, I don't know how old you are, but as long as you're of age, you're an adult, and you're being safe. The truth is, a lot of times I find that parents are a bit shy on this particular subject because if you ask them, their own. I mean, although they're hypocrites, so that doesn't always help. So I think you're fine. Honestly, I don't think you need to move out. We heard what we said about the economy. Yeah. If you are stay at home. Okay, anonymous. This whole situation has me feeling some type of way, and I think I'm starting to dislike my friends if I haven't already. Why are a lot of you in situations where you don't like your friends?
Continue.
Anyway, so last year I was in a situationship with this guy, but I saw it wasn't going anywhere, so I moved on. Fast forward to this year, my friends and I went clubbing with him. As usual, since he buys drinks and gives us money, a plus to him. Okay, now. After the club, we decided to crash at his place. Nothing new. We've done it before. Very well done.
This is her boyfriend?
No. She had a situation with him last year, but she's ended it.
Okay.
But they're still going clubbing.
Yeah.
She said it's a plus to him.
Okay.
Everything was fine until it was time to sleep. We shared a bed with him. Again, nothing new.
Okay.
But at some point, my friend woke me and another girl up so we wouldn't hurt our necks sleeping on the couch. As I was trying to fall back asleep, I noticed something was off with the guy. At first, I thought he was masturbating and I was irritated, but figured it's his house or whatever. But then I realized it was taking too long. And when I tilted my head up, I saw my friend going down on him. I was in shock. Hot rage hit me right then and there. I had to get up and use the bathroom, and they both realized I saw them. I didn't want to hear any explanations or apologies because if I hadn't caught them, they wouldn't have told me. Later, she claimed they'd been talking for months. Yet she never mentioned it, like I wouldn't have understood. Meanwhile, the guy said they had nothing serious going on. He was just horny. Now I feel this deep resentment toward both of them, and I don't know what to do. To make things worse, my friend and I live together. You could have started there.
Okay, so her housemate is now getting with the guy she had a thing before ages ago.
Yes. So here are the things going on, just to make it clear. Because if I want to point the things out, it's very important to recap. Number one, she had a situationship with the guy. What's the guy's name?
I don't know.
I'm just saying, you have to say a name for the story to make
Boy
sense.
Ajasko.
Okay, she had a relationship with Boy Ajasko.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Bajasko is what I want to call him because the two words very complex.
Yeah.
She had a situationship with Bajasko.
Mm-hmm.
She realized this is clownery. It's not going anywhere. She ended the situationship. But Bajasko is
a good time guy.
A good time. He's a good time. He's the guy you call when you want to have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
So her and her friends still call Bajasko for the purposes of outing. When they go out, he pays for the drinks and he gives them money. So they continue to hang out with Bajasko.
Okay.
Now, even more concerning to me, I think it's crazy. They are also into sleeping in Bajasko's house after the clubbing. Okay. All of them together. Nothing new. They are also into sharing the same bed with Bajasko because she puts in brackets, again, nothing new. So this is all hunky-dory. Except this time, when she woke up at night, she saw that Bajasko was moving or making sounds. It's unclear to me. And she discovered that her jolly roommate has now taken over the previous position she had into giving Bajasko
fellatio.
Yes. So this is the scenario. Then she caught them and the roommate said that she and Bajasko have been talking. And Bajasko said, no, I'm not talking to anybody. This is just how I feel this night. Now she's upset.
I don't even know where to start from. I don't know if there's anything to say.
The thing is, okay, yes.
People have interesting thing with boundaries. It's
very interesting. Very
odd to me. Like,
my first question is genuinely, what is happening here? No, before I get into you and your
messy.
friend, what is going on? Why the hell are you and your friends in Bajasko's bed? What is happening
it's
now?
So messy and it's so weird. And it's this thing of, so when people don't have proper boundaries, they try to make everything sound like, oh, it's not a big deal.
Like it's normal. It's normal.
It's cool. I was seeing this guy, then I stopped seeing him, but we still go out and he gives me money.
And then all me and my friends still sleep in his house.
And sleep in his bed.
We also sleep in his bed. See, when you create, as in fluid situations like this, that everything is...
So everything is cool now?
Everything is cool. I'm sorry. Because what I'm imagining is that in this time, when it was you, it was when you were doing situationship and all of you were going out together, you and him were probably doing rubbish in the presence of everybody. Now, it has switched. Yes, she's your roommate. Personally, I find things like that somehow.
So odd.
If I've been with somebody, my friend is now seeing them. But like in this context... But
what if we're in love? What if we fall in love?
Ooh.
Me
boy, I just go.
Me and your own boy, I just... I think you're standing in the way.
Which stupid love? I must.
You're standing in the way.
You've not heard of people standing in the gap. I'm like, look, when they say things like, oh, you want to tear them out, of course.
Yeah, it's just so...
But I'm sorry, you've created a messy situation.
It's such an odd situation.
There's two things that I want to say. Number one, you people need to find boundaries. You need to look it up. You need to invest in it.
I'm sorry, but how greedy?
Your friend.
How greedy? Like, you don't like this guy anymore. You're still hanging around. When you want to have a good time, you call him.
No, so let me tell you, her
No,
problem
Fake-Emi,
is
it
a
is
moral standing.
No,
Wait now, because
it's
she's
not
saying
moral.
she's saying she doesn't mind. But clearly you
mind now.
So which one is you wouldn't understand? My sister, I want to put it to you, you will not understand. The reason why this situation works for you is normal for you and your friends because that's your guy.
Yeah.
Now, in your mind, that's your
shifting
guy.
allegiances.
So you can continue to like have him around and fine as long as he's your guy. But when you've ended the situationship, you don't care. All of you are sleeping in the same house. You're sleeping in the same bed. Everybody's just cool. Everybody's just a cool girl. Now your friend is giving him head and you're in your feelings. But number one, your friend doesn't have sense, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because like, why are we, again, if we're actually friends, there's rubbish that we should not be discussing. But in the context you've created, you are even still trying to insist that you wouldn't mind when the only reason you've written this is because you do clearly bloody mind.
Yeah, it's just a very messy, greedy situation that has exploded in everybody's faces, right?
That's it.
And the lack of boundaries means everybody can pretend. So there's a way you create an environment that people can do rubbish under the guise of, no, but it's cool. Like, we're all cool. Everything is fine. So you don't care about him anymore. So why do you care if I'm kind of sleeping with him? And we were all drunk. I know we're all lying down in the same bed. So I think genuinely, either way, like, you guys have fucked it for yourselves.
I think so.
Like, either way,
I honestly think they're like, so for me, if it was one of my friends and I see that, okay, you had a thing with this guy, it didn't work out, cool. Then you're not always hanging out with him. And not just
it's
that.
It's not that, but
then
also as a group of
and
friends.
Me, we're not staying over in his house, in his bed. At some point, I'm going to ask, sorry, is everybody okay here? What are we doing?
So at some point, okay, like really early
what are we doing? What else will happen?
Yeah, I think it's just very odd to create this fluid, messy.
Especially when you're not all on board. Because, see, it'll be different if you were like, oh, I don't mind, like, whatever, I'm not with him anymore. Let her do what she wants.
What are the odds? Care. What are the odds of that happening?
People say that.
No.
People say that.
But not that close. Not that close. If we're so close that
I'm sorry, you can't be my flatmate and a guy you've seen in my house that I was having a thing with. I beg.
And then we're hanging out that frequently. Not that there's like a third party that I kind of know, I kind of like what we mutually like each other. She now starts. So I woke up and saw this other person that I know was in his house. Do you understand what I mean? Not close, but this other person that I know.
Yeah, you are literally, I live with you.
Friends. It's just a really weird thing.
It's a really weird thing.
You're asking the wrong people because
you are.
Genuinely, I don't even know how we would get there.
That's the problem. So for me, what I can't fathom in my mind is a situation where I am giving a person that my friend has a thing with head while she's there.
And like, why a few of us in the house.
So personally, for me, it can't even happen. So I'm struggling, but I don't want to come from this is not about judgment. What I'm saying is, I think...
What do you mean it's not about judgment? I am judging because you've just made an...
I think the problem you have is that you've allowed
nonsense,
a messy situation to come up because of this thing of you're still hanging out, you're sleeping in the same bed. I'm sorry. When you play stupid games, normally you do win stupid prizes.
And also, don't lie about this. I wouldn't care.
I think you would care, and you are right to care.
There's something about your friends dating somebody that you've been with. Again, note the word friends, dating someone that you've been with. Even if it was brief,
it's somehow.
You will have feelings, and that's why people shy away from it. You will definitely have feelings about it. It's not a bad thing. The normal thing to do also when you're creating boundaries is to make things clear. You're not, again, cool girl. You're not uncool for being like, it wasn't a serious thing, but I don't want anybody dating this guy. It will be somehow.
Like, it's fine to say, see, this is a silly boy, but he's for a good time. Let's still go out with him. I don't want to be with him. But also, I don't want to see you as my flatmates with him. I'm sorry, these are perfectly normal scenarios that happen in life where it's like, okay, but... Yeah.
And also, let's not pretend, moving forward, you and that babe can be really close again. You and that guy hanging out will be somehow. The whole thing is just
I'm sorry. The truth is, I'm sorry that you had to see that. But like, now, the problem that has happened is, that's now your flatmate. There's a fundamental awkwardness that can't come up.
It's odd.
Of course you're resentful towards both of them. Anybody would be.
Any normal person.
And they're also whining you with all this talk of, we've been talking for months. What are you telling me? You, my friend, you've been talking to someone that I stopped talking to months ago. You now picked up. What are you telling me? So, listen, people are bad friends, and it's okay for us to accept that this, your roommate, is a bad friend. I don't know when your lease is up or whatever, but your roommateship now is awkward. This other guy, I'm sorry, it's not going to be sustainable for you. He doesn't give a damn. He doesn't give a damn because, first of all, you people, you were in a situationship, you said it was not going anywhere. But anybody that is also moving to your roommate does not give a damn about you. I just want all of us to be clear.
Also, let's not pretend. Again, so there's something that I know that we've sometimes been guilty of, which is pretending that everybody has all these lofty ideals. Okay? Let's be realistic. Let's come down to earth, to Lagos or wherever I live in Nigeria, the real world. You know, if you have real life sensibilities, what are the odds that a typical, regular, average guy going out, hanging out with a ton of babes doesn't feel owed something?
Very less so. What are the odds that babes are in your house, babes are in your bed, and nothing is going to happen? It happens all the time. What are the odds?
And then, you know, that thing of, so this is something that I think is really important. Just thinking honestly. I don't mind, again, Fakim and I said it in terms of couples, but even in terms of yourself, I don't mind lying to other people. I don't like lying to myself. Calling this guy for a good time. Why? Like, why am I calling him? Me and my friends should go out and hang out on his dime. And then when we're done, we'll go to his house, just sleep. It's all fine. Like, let's also be realistic about the way people behave in certain situations. What they are going to do as well is, because you've all been gaslighting each other. He is now also going to play the game of, I didn't know it was a big deal.
And also, he's also playing, but we hang out now. We like, go out, and me and you ended. It wasn't a serious thing. Everybody's cool. This is why I don't pretend to be cool or fine with anything. I'm not cool. I'm not fine. And it's not happening. So like, I just think, again, I'm sorry that your friend did that to you, but I also think that you have to like own a little bit this situation because
this creation of this
what is really going on was what's really happening here, you know. The guy is a clown. And the funny thing is, you knew that. If you didn't think he was a clown, you would not have ended things with him. So number one, you know that this guy is a clown. But there's enjoyment that you're having there. So you've done that. Your friend is also a clown. To me, the whole thing is irritating, actually.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sha.
Sorry, but like... Yeah. My whole thing is
to be honest with you, I just think the situation...
It's so weird and messy.
The situation was breeding nonsense from the beginning. And if it wasn't, maybe it wasn't, I would not have expected it to be this nonsense. But definitely, once you said all of you were sleeping in the same bed, the guy you ended your situation with, you're still going out, I knew that nonsense was coming up.
Yeah.
So sure. I'm sorry, but like, I think we all have to just be realistic. You know what I find is human beings are not that advanced. Okay?
Yeah.
We try to do a lot of these advanced things, which is, a grand example is this thing of being super close to your ex. We are all human beings that are functioning normally in the world. How likely is it for you to be in super close proximity to somebody who you had deep feelings for, whether it ended for good or for bad, and things are not going to get complicated in one way or the other, emotionally, some other way? It's weird. And so we love deceiving ourselves that everything is cool. And like most of the time, especially when feelings are involved or you've been physical or intimate with somebody, things are not cool. Do you get? So I don't know why we always, like people say, oh, situationships, it doesn't matter. You don't, again, why are we lying to ourselves? Situationship or not, I say, yeah, my friend, don't go near him. What is it?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't really enjoy when we try and muddy the waters this way, which is why I don't do it. If you're my friend, and even if I meet a guy and I see that, oh, we get along, and then I remember that,
yeah,
this guy and this babe, even that year, immediately, it's not that I now start thinking, oh, maybe I should tell her. I can't like automatically. What happens is you enter a group of people whom I cannot date. And so my mind locks out of the idea that there should be anything pursued here because I'm like, oh, hey, yeah, what a shame that this can't go anywhere. The thing to do is not to like push it, like get so close to the line that we're not having all these plenty discussions. I don't see the point. I remember this thing happened one time with friends and then she was saying, oh, should she tell her? And I said, I just want us to be honest. Tell her what? What don't tell her you're messing around with her ex. How? What? I was like, I'm sorry. Are you waiting for us to give consensus to this nonsense? When do we start doing that? This is your actual friend. And what still? This boy did rubbish to her. So which one is, oh, you bonded over one thing, no, he's this. I said, I don't give a damn. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's just odd. It's just odd. So good luck, Sha.
Yeah, all the best.
And
Honestly.
the thing I wanted to talk about in terms of like artists and culture, good, is I saw a tweet that I was very interested in about how a lot of the times the art used to tell you about the times you are in. So you would hear music from a time and get a
sense of
the period. And that at the moment, there's nothing about Nigerian music that is really telling you about the times we're in.
Telling you that people have big bum, which is a fact.
And it's not supposed to be for everybody, right? So it's not every artist that you hold to account.
Of course.
There was it, and I understand what you mean.
In every like time, there's always some artist speaking about what's going on.
But it was even about the fact that in popular culture as well, some of a song or two, or usually a song, even with big artists that are relevant to the culture, would have something that gives an inclination
of what is
going on, and how it's important. Because sometimes, and I wanted to talk about how there's a lot of unnecessary burden on artists. But I do think that from time to time, it's important, particularly now. So Nigerian art in particular, and by art, I mean our music, our fashion, our like visual arts, our podcasts, our novel, our books are doing well. Because they are good. They are really good. They are fun. They are interesting. They say something. But I do think the more and more it's being... So it started off with it just being consumed by the world. But more and more, it's starting to be curated for the world.
Mm-hmm.
So it's from inception, it's being designed with the world in mind. And I think that part of the problem is that now those types of stories are not being told because what do they don't care about that stuff. And because I'm creating stuff for that market, I'm not even thinking about making space for that. Do you understand what I mean?
I understand. Do you know that? To be honest, I understand, and to an extent I agree. But in another sense, I actually think what is going on in our art is completely reflective. There is a huge disconnect between like reality and what we are projecting. And that's what's coming out.
Oh,
because see, we are in the era of Yahoo Boy music. Everybody's talking about like, a lot of songs are about, it's not big bomb, expensive money, but like there's also that.
Yes, but and also... To expand a bit more on that, there's also the fact that there is shame around people's reality. So our society is full of people projecting an image that they want people to see because there is a fake it till you make it. There's a big
lifestyle.
Aspirational thing that's going on. And part of that is also reflecting in like our society.
Yeah.
So it is until someone who's considered like big or popular talks about something, everybody's not like, oh yeah, it's even true. XYZ is this price. But we've all been projecting an image of
lifestyle
and luxury. And also that's just what social media is about, right? So I think it was MI, we were talking to Jude. This was a few years ago around Vino's wedding. And I was talking to him about something random. And he was saying, it's so odd because on the one hand, all these like new guys are making so much money. But for the ones who aren't, but are just really popular, there's a shame about not matching up to people's expectations in your mind. He was talking about how when he moved to Lagos, some of his music has started moving.
Yeah.
But they didn't have money. So he would still like enter bus, jump Okada, and people would recognize him, but it was never like a shameful thing. So people would recognize him in like a bus, or they'll see him like strolling or something. And it was never like, no be be this or whatever. It was just accepted that they don't have it like that.
But now you can't do that.
But now you can't.
One hit track and everyone is like...
But it's not just about... So for me, it's not even just one hit track. It's one viral moment, one public thing, one outfit does well in your collection, or you have a collection, you have a moment, or you're even just recognizable in public, and you have to start projecting an image of a certain type of success. 100% right. Like that is what our culture has become.
Yeah, so I think it's a weird reflection that because when you listen to the songs that are popped here this year and you look at the reality, you start to think, sorry, is everybody okay?
But and then I saw someone reply and say, but a lot of the top artists don't even live here anymore. So what are you talking about, babes? And there's also that. So,
and like, to be fair, as a people, we generally drown everything in enjoyment.
Yeah.
So that is what you see, that is what you hear, and like literally everything is about lifestyle, every single thing.
Yeah, it's just it just sometimes it made me think about how sad it is that in 50 years, if someone is listening to our top 100 tracks, there is no inclination that anything is.
That's what I'm saying. There's
nobody like Wale and even Mayowa from Submarriage Culture of artists to telling stories, which is why I said it would be nice to talk to somebody like Wale and even Mayowa from Submarriage Culture because it's something that we've spoken about before. Like the degree artists are able to tell you a story. And because he when I spoke to Mayowa about it, if I'm not mistaken, it was around why he also thinks like pop culture, regular type of podcasts are really cool in that just the way we gist is the most likely you are to be able to get a snapshot of what is happening, depending on like people's social class as well, and there's all those other things. But I just thought of it as something really interesting. And when I started to think about it, I was like, oh, this is absolutely true.
Yeah. Do you think that like, because on the one hand, I'm like, not every artist, because of genres, all these things can be responsible, but it feels like we have fewer artists that are like culturally, that have the voice of the time than before.
Yes, because also think about how much capitalism. I think I want to make a TikTok on this. TikTok is so much fun, by the way.
Yeah, I'm tempted to join, but I'm afraid of how much of my time it's going to take
up a lot.
Because all the TikTok videos I already see, Amoy sends me every day. I'm already like consumed with them. So I'm like, once you get to a point where you know what's happening on a platform you're not on, things are moving.
I was thinking
because my friends will say, I know that you've not seen this thing, and they send me the 6 videos of the story that has happened. And I'm like, why do I know this?
Yeah. I was going to make a TikTok about, I can't remember what I was going to make a TikTok about. But the point is, I do think that there's something to be said for people who don't, for a society that doesn't make any, okay, now I remember what I was going to make a TikTok about, how corporations also have a role to play. So once the Wall Street boys who build money on top of money enter the creative space, their understanding is, their aim is to do what they've done with other corporations,
things, sure.
which is to extract the most value possible, right? And so they don't want albums that are niche and are doing well in a small. They need everybody to be a mega pop star because they want everybody to be able to do arena tours and to sell merch and to do. And so that also changes the air of who is this thing and who are you creating for. You're not creating for a niche market. You're not creating for yourself. Like you're creating for like a mass market, a poppy bubblegum. Like you have to make things really fast. You can't really tell a story in the way you want to because you're thinking of the market that pays the most. And so I just, it's not a responsibility that I think is fair to put on them, but it is something to think about in how we're capturing the zeitgeist, like how we're talking about our reality. Because I do think, as usual, my mom is so tired of me bringing church into everything, but I do think like our general understanding of faith and religion has something to do with it. This idea of thinking what you want to be and speaking positive and, you know. I mean, there's a reason why Joy is Coming was a big song.
Yeah.
There's a reason why.
Look, I keep saying it that
at the same time, sorry. So in the faith-based world, that favor chants.
Bruh, that song is everywhere.
And in the secular world,
Joy is coming.
So it's not a society. We've moved from, I remember when I was in the late 90s, when like a lot of the songs, even like gospel-based songs, were very much about like, God, I'm struggling, like hear my cry. That was what they were singing about. And I feel like the way our churchiness or Pentecostalism in particular has shifted in Nigeria is that it's a very speak it, see it, say it.
Yeah, like you're not singing, I surrender. anymore. All
Or
those ones. Yeah, like
you're not saying like, God is really hard and just help me. It's more like, I don't know.
apart from one of my favorite jams, which I find the wording so funny because as it is my daddy, your baby. That song, I find it so funny because I'm just like, see, you get to a point where you're like, sir, please.
Yeah.
Like, can you see what's really going on?
But it's something that I do.
I think it's I've always
even
thought...
film.
Yes.
Even
it's
film,
not reflecting.
yeah.
I've always thought joy is coming because when people are singing this, I'm like, you people are worshiping. Like, you're praying the thing, even though that's not what that guy is really discussing.
Yeah.
But they're singing it with such fervor that it's like, I don't know. It's an interesting thing. But even film, like, it's not about what is going on. I don't know. We're in a weird time. I can't lie to you. We're in a weird time. And I think it's partly because you can see everything that is happening. Social media and all these things. It's not reflective of reality, is the truth. Why the hell do I want to put my Monday to Friday on the internet? And even that video, I'm still going to edit it. So, like, you're not going to see me lying down at home. That's a bit crazy. So, I don't know. It's very interesting, Shaba. Look, in general, I'm sorry to say that I just think we're a bit cooked as a generation.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering what is going to happen next. Like, where the solutions are going to come from. I thought about something. I said, Nigeria is so interesting where I was listening to another podcast that was talking about flea markets in America, right? And how they were talking about it from a business angle that they're surprised these things make so much money because it's essentially a massive yard sale of like people bringing vintage stuff or whatever. And I was like, what's so funny is that, vintage is, buying from charity shops is like a thing, it's a cool thing outside. Well, Krika is Raz.
Yeah. I think it's also, again, it's cultural.
And also, I get it because like there's second-hand clothing is different. It's not vintage. But it's funny that in this kind of culture and nation where everything is so expensive, we don't have
shame
any...
around
Yes,
that
there's shame around like, we don't have an interesting culture of, I mean, now they're doing thrifting, but a lot of times thrift I'm like,
thrift is expensive,
you've sewn a shirt and you're selling it for 20K and this is a new shirt. Where is the thrifting that happened there?
Yeah, and also the thrift is, and it's expensive.
Yes.
That's not the point. Like, thrift, anyway.
Yeah, but what was interesting to me is because I was looking at This Is Us's like repurpose, redye event this weekend. And I was like, this is so interesting that like as a culture, we don't do more things like this because we are poor. We don't have money yet. We don't have DIY culture. We're not making things. It's a very weird thing. We're in a weird place because it's like, how is it that in a culture where people don't have money, like we're not, the stuff that you do because you don't have as much money to buy like new things or repurpose, there's like a slight shame attached to it here. It's weird.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't get all these things, Sha. I don't get, and since my birthday, I'm into DIY.
Oh God.
That's just it.
Anyway, guys, this has been such a winding episode.
Yes.
Such a lot of fun. And hopefully next week we don't have too much to complain about.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's it.
Like, but the truth is getting too much.
This is the time. It's actually getting, and it's so hot.
Yeah.
It's so hot.
It's horrid.
Honestly, it's so hot that when it's so hot, it's difficult to not just remember problems, issues, because you're just like, who is sinning where and why are you doing this to me?
Yeah.
Someone was saying that as in at this point we're so close to hellfire that everything is coming out. So, global warming and that.
But yeah, thanks for listening, guys.
Lovely time.
Oh, before we go, I mean, you'd have seen the video already, but we're having a brunch.
We're having a brunch.
With Garnier.
We're having a brunch with Garnier.
Just 50 people.
It is. It's a
from
small
our community
brunch.
only.
It's a small brunch.
Tiny brunch.
So if you've not joined our community on Instagram, you're not in our newsletter. So sorry. But it's for the community girlies, the skincare girlies. It's a small brunch and you will see more information about it if you are inside
our community.
The community. But it's going to be fun.
Also, something is coming in April. And that's going to be fun.
Yes. We will tell you more.
We'll tell you more later.
Coming soon.
Whatever.
It's like those things, that thing artists used to say where I'm cooking.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Something is cooking. You've not seen when they say that. something is cooking.
Get me, please.
That's what they say. They say that they are cooking. So we are
And
cooking.
then people in the know now be like, whoop, whoop, finally.
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop.
So you guys, when we say it, you guys should
First of
come
all,
out and
which
say-
Nigerians actually said whoop, whoop? Nobody.
It's like, oh my God, I'm so happy I can finally talk about this. I love that. Personally,
I know
love
you
that.
do. I'm a boy.
I love that. There's nothing I love more than, oh my God, finally you guys know.
Yeah. All right, guys. We'll see you very, very soon. Fuck off
Peace.
forever.
Right. Okay. So that's another angle anyway. Okay. Bye, Aisha.
This episode was brought to you by Carousel Network. Your hosts are Jola Ayeye, which is me, the more important one, and Feikemi FK Abudu.
Please, you see
unimportant.
empty barrels, but never mind.
Our producer is Debbie Romeo. Our social media manager is Najite Anira. Our production assistant is Theresa Ajayi. Our magician on audio is David Kenny. Cam assistant, Michael Uche. And Abolade Oluyede. All right, thank you so much and goodbye forever.
Bye.